You ever feel that? Like you're in a room full of people, but you're completely alone? Or maybe you're always looking for that one person who just gets you. Well, today we're going to dive into a really powerful new way to think about loneliness, self-doubt, and what connection really means. So let's get into it. So, where does this all start? Well, it really begins with this one feeling that I think we can all relate to, that deep, kind of nagging sense of being on your own. I mean, this is the big question, right? It's that constant hunt for validation, for a perfect connection, for that feeling that you finally found your place. So many of us are on this journey, but what if we've been looking in all the wrong places? And what's really interesting is how all these different things, they're actually connected. You know, feeling lonely and trying to fake being happy, or that anger from the past you just can't shake, even needing someone else to tell you what to do, these aren't separate problems. They're all just symptoms of one single thing. We're looking for the answers out there instead of in here. And that leads us to this huge shift in how we see things. The person you're looking for, the one who can actually understand you, who can make you feel complete, they aren't out there somewhere. That person is already inside you. Okay, so how do we even start to look inward? Well, it all kicks off with this really cool metaphor, and it has to do with Japanese rice cakes. And trust me, it'll totally change how you think about feeling separate. Okay, picture this. Imagine that everything, the whole universe, starts as one giant ball of mochi. You know, that soft Japanese rice cake? Everything is connected, all part of the same thing, just total, complete oneness. But then, a little piece gets pinched off from that big mass and rolled into its own little dumpling, a dango. And guess what? That's you, that's me. Each one of us was pulled away from the whole on purpose to have our very own unique life. And this idea is called our solo activity. It's kind of like a musician in a band, right? The band has to play together, but then one member leaves to go make their own album, to find their own sound. That's their solo project. And that's exactly what we're here to do, to go on our own personal solo mission. So here's the big takeaway. That feeling of being separate, of being an individual, it's not a mistake. It's not a bug in the system. It's the main feature. You were literally designed this way, to go on this solo journey and have experiences that nobody else can have. All right, so if we accept this idea that we're meant to be on this solo journey, what does that mean for things like the law of attraction? How does that change how we get what we want in life? Let's dive into that. Okay, check this out. For basically anything you want, there are two ways to approach it. There's the path of fear, which sounds like, I need a partner so I won't be so lonely. And then there's the path of love, which is more like, my life is great and I'd love to share it with a partner. You can totally feel the difference in energy there, can't you? That starting point, that emotion, it is everything. And here's the real kicker. If you're coming from a place of I am lonely, that's the signal you're sending out. You're basically broadcasting loneliness as your reality. And what do you get back? More experiences that make you feel lonely. It's like a feedback loop. You just can't fix an internal feeling with something from the outside. Okay, so if the answer is always inside us, what about healing? How does this work for healing old wounds? I mean, especially the tough ones, right? Like when the person who hurt you has no idea, or they just straight up deny it ever happened. Well, there's actually a super practical 4-step process for this. And the key thing to notice here is that it's not about them. It's not about getting an apology. It's about you finally giving your own pain the attention and validation it needs. The point isn't to change what happened, it's to finally let your own feelings be heard, especially by you. And all of this really brings us full circle. It brings us back to the real point of this whole solo journey, which is figuring out and then really building the single most important relationship you will ever have. So this totally flips the script on what loneliness actually is. It's not about being physically alone. Real loneliness, true loneliness, is when you've abandoned yourself. It's when you're not your own ally, when you're not on your own team. But the moment you really commit to your solo activity, to understanding yourself, to validating your own feelings, to having your own back, that desperate need for someone else to come and fix you, it just disappears. You realize, oh, wait, I'm the person I've been looking for this whole time. Just let that sink in for a second. All that approval, all that validation you've been chasing from other people, it will never, ever be as powerful as the understanding you can give to yourself. So, I want to leave you with this to think about. If your life really is this unique solo performance, what's the song your soul is trying to sing right now? What is that one thing that's calling out just to you? Because that journey inward, that's the biggest, most incredible adventure you'll ever take.